Stress is the biggest enemy we all have. We don't like to be stressed out. We hate stressing. It's the reason we always trying to run away from stress. You've never heard anyone that say, yo, today I'm going to stress myself out. I need to stress myself out because when I'm stressed, I'm happy. I feel at ease. My mind is at peace. No one ever say that. You have never heard that before. Because stress kills our immune system. Stress ages us very fast. It basically kills our nerve cells, man. Very, very fast. It's the reason when you see someone who's stressed the hell out, you can see it on their face. You can see the way the face just wrinkled up. But what is stress exactly, guys? It's very important to understand our enemy in order to attack it, in order to deal with it. If we don't understand our enemy, how are we going to deal with it? How are we going to dominate our enemy? So in this video, I'm going to explain how stress operates for you to have a better understanding, for you to go out there and just, boom, get rid of all your stress. Well, you're not going to get rid of all your stress, but if you understand it, you'll know how to deal with it. Okay? So let's go on the board. Let's go in the limbic system because the limbic system is our emotional gatekeeper. So we have to go there to understand every little thing. Whenever I talk about emotion, go straight towards the limbic system because it's where emotion lives, guys. Okay? So let's jump into it. When you think of stress, stress is a shock that happened in the system. Okay? It's a shock that just hit the system for you to pay attention, for you to focus to any threat. Because if we didn't have that stress mechanism, boom, we would have been gone. We would have been eaten alive by wild animals or something because we wouldn't be able to pay attention. So stress grab our focus for us to pay attention to any threat in the environment. Remember, guys, any information before it reaches consciousness, it has to go through the limbic system. So the limbic system scanning the environment for any threat, anything that will come your way. It's going to send you that stress hormone for you to be on alert. What is stressing me? Your heart rate going up. You looking to see where the threat is coming from. Either for you to deal with it, or for you to run or hide, for you to defend yourself. It's the reason they call it fight or flight system. Very important to understand what I'm talking about, guys. So when you hear the term fight or flight, man, think about the limbic system, either to defend yourself or to run away. But when it happened, it uses so much energy. It's the reason if something is chasing you, you're not the fastest person in the world, I'm pretty sure. But if something is chasing you, you will run pretty fast, extremely fast. Why? Because you're using a lot of energy, the stress hormone, the adrenaline, the cortisol inside of your system. It's the reason sometimes you feel like you out of breath after you, you stress the hell out, your heart rate up, you out of breath, man. You can't think straight. Your mouth's dry. You need water ASAP because you burn so much energy. It's the reason you sweat. Because inside of your system, steam the hell out. It's very hot. So you need to sweat in order for you to cool down. So do you see how important stress actually is? Because when you think about back in the ancient days or something, if you didn't have that stress mechanism, you would have been chill. You would have been relaxing. And a huge tiger or freaking lion or some wild animal, some ferocious animal would have been eating you alive. You would have been their dinner, point blank, period. But the fact that you have that stress mechanism, it enabled you to help you focus, laser focus, for you to stay alive, for you to run, for you to hide, for you to fight, for you to defend yourself. But the stress I'm talking about, it's called acute stress, a quick stress. It's in every single animal, guys. Every single species you can think of. If you're on Earth, you're going to have that stress mechanism. You see, so the thing about acute stress, once it happened, let's say you're looking around where the threat is coming from, you don't feel good, your heart rate beating, you just don't feel right about something. Once you figure out the threat, you go right back to normal. You calm down. The stress just poof, disappeared. If you go out in the wild, man, you start chasing, like, let's say a wild animal or something, it's going to run. But after it reaches safety, it's going to calm down. It's the acute stress, okay? The problem we humans face, the fact that we are conscious of ourselves and we can use imagination, we also experience chronic stress. And that's our enemy right there, chronic stress. We do not want to become chronically stressed. Extremely, extremely dangerous for the system. Okay, so let me explain it in the brain, then you have a better understanding. Okay, so the fact that we are conscious, we able to use the frontal section to think, to imagine ourselves in the future, to use imaginations and stuff. Remember, the limbic system doesn't know the difference between something real or something fake. It's the gatekeeper. It's here to keep you alive, to defend you. Any threat gonna come its way, it's going to attack, it's going to run, it's gonna find a way to escape that threat or to deal with the threat by sending, by activating the stress system, the alert system. Do you see the difference? So you can say the mechanism is very good, okay? Because it's scanning the environment for any threat. Anything on the outside come your way, you're going to deal with it. Or the limbic system will deal with it. It's what it's designed to do. But let's say, I'm going to give you a better example, actually. Let's say, right, you're walking, you're minding your business, and there's a little rope on the floor, and it's shaped like a snake. Automatically, you will jump. You'll be like, oh, shoot. You thought it was a snake. It's because the limbic system activates first. Then after, you're able to use consciousness to realize that, okay, it's not a snake, it's just a rope. Then you calm down. So do you see how it works? Do you see how acute stress operates? The limbic system thought it was a snake, and it automatically, boom, made you jump. Because it cannot tell the difference between something fake or something real. Consciousness can. But there's a delay. The limbic system will activate first. Then you realize that, okay, it's not a snake. Okay, just a piece of rope on the floor. Then it's fine. Okay, now, understand this. The fact that you have your imagination, you're able to think into the future. You are conscious of yourself. The fact that you can imagine yourself, the worst thing that could happen to you, something that could happen to you in the future, something that hasn't happened yet. Or the fact that you can think back, something bad that happened to you in the past, you bring it up into the future. The limbic system not going to know if it's your imagination or not. It's not going to care about that. It's not going to be able to tell if it's something outside of the environment or if it's just your mind. It's not going to care about that. It's going to activate. It's going to release the stress hormone into your system. It's going to burn out your energy. Because it's going to think like, okay, something is wrong. Something's not right. I need to escape. But where's the problem coming from? Because I'm looking for it. Think about it. I'm trying to make you picture how the limbic system is viewing it. I'm trying to escape this. I'm looking for the threat, but I can't find it. Where is the threat is coming from? Which means I have to be on alert at all time. It's no difference between being in a war zone. Real talk. Because it will stay activated. Why? Because you're thinking about some sort of problem, something that you haven't resolved. You stay up late at night thinking about your problems. what do you think going to happen? The limbic system going to view it as a threat, and it's going to start, sending you that alertness for you to start searching, for you to solve that problem as soon as possible for it to calm down. Because it's not going to risk by thinking that, oh, yeah, it's not real. Let me just, no. Guys, so it's what chronic stress is. So when someone, let's say they're in the wrong environment, or they constantly exposing themselves to something, let's say, watching crime movies and stuff, or whatever it is, it's going to activate. I'm going to give you another example. Let's say you're at work, right? And your boss call you. Oh, I need to see you in the office. You don't even know what's going on. You have no idea if it's going to be something positive or negative. But, we human being, our limbic system always leaning towards the negative. Our mind, I should say, always lean towards the negative. We're going to think, oh, shoots, what did I do? And you start using your imagination to conjure up images of the worst thing that could possibly going to happen in that office, or what your boss going to say. Panic, limbic system, activate. Boom. It's the reason you feel scared. You're nervous. You start sweating. You think like, oh, shit, what am I going to do? What the hell did I do wrong? You see, so the stress hormones, cortisol, already in your system, your heart rate, boom, to the roof. For something you have no idea what's going to happen. You don't know what your boss going to say. But the fact that you can use your imagination to say like, yo, fuck, I'm probably going to get fired or something. Why? What did I do wrong? Why am I being called to the office for? But you never put it in the back of your mind. It could be a promotion. It could be something that will actually benefit you. But we don't think like that, do we? We always lean towards the negative. Just to give you a great example how our imagination can cause us to stress the hell out. You stand late at night thinking like, damn, man. Oh, worst thing. Now I can't do this. Oh, I have to do this. I have to do that, but I don't know how to do it. I'm all confused. Boom. You stress the hell out. It's when it's no longer acute stress. It's no longer a quick stress, because now you have something in the back of your mind, negative images, negative thoughts just flowing in the back of your mind. That's what chronic stress is. So the limbic system stay on alert mode at all time, to the point it becomes a part of you. To the point you can't get rid of it. It becomes a habit. When you don't stress out, when you feel calm, when you feel like, oh, yo, I'm in a good mood, you start going nuts in your head. You're thinking like, yo, how come I'm not stressed the hell out? Damn. What? Something bad gonna happen. You're waiting for the worst that could happen to you because you're used to stressing. So now, the fact that you have things in the back of your mind and, and the limbic system on alert at all time, it's where depression comes in. And that's where people usually feel the need to, to drink alcohol, because they don't understand themselves. One side want to be happy, but the other side just punishing them. So do you see how it works? Let me give you a better picture. I'm giving you guys so many different examples because it's very important to understand how stress works. I'm going to go back to acute stress. Acute stress, you can say our parents or teachers or something. When we were a child, they mold us to behave a certain way by using acute stress. Let's say pain and pleasure. No one wants to experience pain. When a child doing something wrong, you're like, no, don't do this. It's bad. And you will see the child like, shock. It's the acute stress. And the fact that the child will remember it because it's going to save with the memory, right, of the of the situation with the pain, for the child not to do it again in the future. Because whenever the memory come back, or whenever something similar going to happen, boom, it's going to come with that pain. When the child doing something good, we're like, oh, good job, pleasure. So our parents will tell us, don't do this. I'm going to spank you if you do that, or I'm going to do this if you do that, or you're going to hurt yourself. Pain. No one want to be spanked. No one want to experience pain. So we mold the child to behave a certain way. They call it conditioning, through praise and pain. It's the same thing with us. We still experience till this day. If we didn't have the difference between pain and pleasure, we would be wild, man. We wouldn't care. We would be careless. You would be running the traffic light. You wouldn't care about the rules, the regulations. You wouldn't care about no law. But the fact that you know you could go to jail, the fact that you know you could be arrested, pain. You stay far away. You behave like a good citizen, of course, because you do not want to go to jail. You see, so just to make you understand how far acute stress can go, okay, let's go back to chronic stress. You know, the thing about it is, chronic stress can cause so many diseases in the system because it's cortisol, right? Hair fall. You'll see some guys, they go bald because they're under a lot of stress. Of course, it could be genetic. I get it. But if someone under a lot of stress, I'm talking about depression, they can literally go bald, hair fall. For female, miscarriage. It happens all the time. But most of the time, we're so deep. We're so stressed out. We don't even realize that we're stressed out. It's the reason you see some people, they're walking around, their face all screwed up. They don't even know that. They don't even realize that their face like all wrinkled up, ready to fight, ready to go. You say anything to them, they'll explode. Any little thing, even if it's the simplest thing, they will explode. You're not at fault. You're not a problem. But it's the fact that they have something in the back of their mind bothering them. And they're going to take that problem out on you. It's the reason you have to be careful, okay? And another thing, again, when someone, let's say, chronically stressed, depressed and stuff, and they're going throughout their day, years after years under stress, their face, the facial expression, stay permanently screwed up. It's the reason you'll see some people walking like... But as they get older is when you will be able to see it even more, because the facial nerves gonna start broken down to pieces. As we get older, obviously, you know, it's the reason we don't have that tight skin anymore. It's gonna start loosen up, but you will be able to see the expression, the anger, the problems just showing on the expression. It's gonna be hard to change, of course, because if it's been for decades, it's gonna be hard to change. It's the reason. If you feel like you're under a lot of stress, whatever problem you're facing, you must deal with it as soon as possible. Or else, if you're trying to run away from it, you're trying to close your eyes just to escape it, it's going to go in the back of the mind, and you won't be conscious of it. But it's going to stay in the back of the mind, just navigating, just hitting the limbic system, which going to create extra problems. So, guys, we live in a stressful world. I get it. But for the mind, the way you can deal with it, you can mentally reframe the way you think certain things. Your attitude really matters. If you really want to change the way you view the world, like for you to not stress yourself out, you have to be able to reframe certain thought. Mental reframing is very real. Don't always lean towards the negative. If you always go towards the negative or the worst that could happen, or you expose yourself in a negative environment where people always creating some sort of problems or something, you're going to influence the mind to the point like you don't even realize that you're in a toxic environment, then chronically stress gonna just lurk the system. For real. So, guys, we're going to talk more about stress. I just want you to understand the fundamentals, for you to know that, okay, what the root cause of stress? But we're going to tackle it. I'm going to make more videos about it, man, for you to understand how to reframe the mind and how to deal with stress. I'm telling you, the limbic system is the way to go. If you really want to understand everything about yourself, the limbic system is the way to go. And I have so much more videos to drop about the limbic system, man, because we got to talk about body language, man. We got to talk about many different things. But I just want you guys to understand the basics for now. Then we'll go deeper into it for us to understand how to use the mind to, to reframe, to change the way we feel about ourselves, the way we view ourselves. It's what self-control is all about. Self-control is not literally going to the limbic system and no. Self-control is all about the mind. If you have a strong mind, then you will be able to reframe the way you think. And when it comes to emotion, you'll be able to control it without a problem. It doesn't mean that you're not going to feel it. You will feel it, but you're just not going to act on it because your mind stronger than you reframe, actually. You reframe the way you view the situation. Thoughts, emotion, and behavior. Once you have a thought, it will trigger the emotion. And boom, automatically the behavior will occur. Okay, guys? So what do we do here? We learn, we push, and we grow to become the best version of ourselves. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button for more great content. If you have anything to say, let it out in the comment section. See you next time. Ciao.